Admittedly, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today's jank comes to us because Rocketman04 on the stream saved up 50,000 channel points and cashed them all in at once to get me to build some crazy wild deck around March with a little bit of life drain and a lot of big stuff was the steps. So I had to build a deck around that sort of thing. Keep in mind, folks, those channel points, you get them just for hanging out. So if you, too, want to have me build some wild and crazy thing, come on out and hang out in the stream. We would love to have you. What did we do today, though? Well, since it was all big stuff, we feel like we had to have quite a bit of 5 and up, so 5, 6s, and 7s. So in order to get there, we have a lot of mass removal. We have 3 Shadow's Verdict and 4 Blood in the Snow, so that's a total of 7 sweepers, plus some spot removal with Binding the Old Gods, Bloodchief's Thirst, and of course, March of Wretched Sorrow. This is a brand new card. March of Wretched Sorrow deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. You gain X life. And you can add a little more to that X by exiling black cards from our hand, and it costs 2 less for each card. We then are also running a pair of Dig Ups, kind of as a diabolic tutor to be able to search things up, but also get us out of being stuck on lands in the early game because we do need to get up to our higher end stuff. As a result, we're running 24 conventional lands and 3 Kazandu Mammoths, so a total of 27, which is a lot. But these are mainly here to be able to block and things in the early game as well. We also have some Boseiju who reaches Skyward to give us another win condition in the giant plant, hopefully. And some Binding the Old Gods, which is both removal and ramp, to get us up to the top end. How are we trying to win the game? Well, we have a single Junji, which is awesome while it's alive and awesome if it dies. We have a single Kura, which is awesome when it's alive and awesome if it dies. We then have 4 Skeletal Swarming, which is probably our most expedient way of winning the game. Just get, slam 1 or 2 of these things, and the inevitability will eventually be on our side as long as we can survive. It creates skeletons every turn, and they get +X+O, where X is the number of other skeletons. We then have a few Professor Onyx and a few Beledros Witherblooms, which, of course, create pests at the beginning of each upkeep. Not just our upkeep, but their upkeep as well. So let's go see if we can win some games with it. All right, folks, here we are up against Godo Kisaragi. And yeah, I think we're going to hang on to it. This hand is really slow, but what do you do? Hey, feels good, man. We really needed to draw into something in the early game, and we got there. We got a Bloodchief's Thirst. This can help us interact with whatever our opponent's doing, as long as it's, creature-based or planeswalker-based, and something we can answer at sorcery speed. So, admittedly, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Ooh, Hobgoblin Captain, eh? Well, that is exactly what we needed. Oh my goodness, folks. Thank you, deck. For all the times our deck has refused to cooperate, this time it really did. Woodland Chasm come down. Now we get to Binding the Old Gods, this Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. Yeah, baby. And then we get to start ramping. I don't know. We haven't taken a hit yet. It seems like we probably will this upcoming turn. Yeah. I don't think we want to Shadow's Verdict here. I think we want our opponent to commit more to the board. Yes, like this. All right. I mean, taking 7 is not, oh boy, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. Taking 9 is not thrilling, but it's fine. We definitely needed to not just lose there, So, do the thing. Opponent passes. Well, Professor Onyx going to come on down. We're going to lose a life. Grab a thing. I guess it's going to be a Kazandu Mammoth. And no, we're not going to cast it. Because we can cast it and Binding the Old Gods next turn. And kick the can down the road towards this Professor Onyx ultimate. That would be great. Oh boy. Tundra Fumarole. And a Thundering Rebuke? Okay, well, I mean, you know, we're not thrilled about that. Apparently, we might not need the Binding the Old Gods, though. Folks, I left my Snowlands out. Like a foo-owl. I added a couple, clearly, the Woodland Cemetery, or Woodland Chasms, but then I forgot them. Looks like I'm going to have to re-record the deck tech. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, well. Alright. Battlecry Goblin. Alright. March, X equals 3. Submit 0. Gain a little life. Kill a goblin. And yeah, hey, Boseiju reaches Skyward. Don't mind if I do. Give me them forests. Make a land drop. Pass the turn. Folks, we have a lot of manas. We would really like a Beledros Witherbloom or something here. Okay, opponent gets a goblin. Alright. Do we... Alright. Yeah, let's just do this, I think. Oh boy, hey, we got there, folks. We got there. Skeletal Swarming, exactly the sort of thing we were looking for. Give us some inevitability. Opponent, going after our face or our Professor Onyx? The Den of the Bugbear is good. That will make things difficult on us. Run amok. Alright. Well, that's inconvenient. Oh boy, but we got another one. Hey. Okay. So land me, baby. And yeah, Godo Kisaragi says, I've had enough of this. Don't blame them. As long as we hit a land, we would be able to Skeletal Swarming, which seems pretty good. But even if we didn't, I feel like we had Binding the Old Gods. We had a lot of options and plenty of life to work with. So GG, opponent, GG. Off to fix those lands. Alright, folks, here we are, up against Distortius. I think we gotta take a mulligan on the first one. Then this one, I think, is acceptable, but it's not very good. I'm a little bummed about it. We do get a Binding the Old Gods, that's good. Okay, another Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Definitely getting up to the 4th mana is very, very good, because the Binding the Old Gods will at least get us to the 5th mana. If it comes to that sort of thing, you know? Sure. Can't yet kill this Righteous Valkyrie, unfortunately. Celestial Unicorn. Not a cleric. Okay, we take our 2. I think we're going to go after that Celestial Unicorn here. And then bind the Righteous Valkyrie right out of here. It's possible we're supposed to save that for the cleric class, because this is a payoff as well. But, you know. Okay. Well, let's Woodland Chasm. Deathcap Glade. And yeah, I think we're just going to Skeletal Swarming. We could have Hive of the Eye Tyrant eat the Righteous Valkyrie. But at this point, we know we can Blood on the Snow next turn at least. So yeah. Righteous Valkyrie comes in, gets a counter. Oh boy, this is interesting. Well. Opponent doesn't do anything about it. Well, we're going to go ahead and get down another Skeletal Swarming. And present an awful lot of damage. And be able to Bloodchief Thirst next turn. Okay, Bril Cathar is inconvenient. Do we even care about the Righteous Valkyrie? I don't think we do. At least not yet. So let's just go make 8 power. Attack. Make some more skeletons. We currently have 5 13 power tramplers. And Distortius says, okay, got it. We're getting out of here. Feels good, man. Feels good. We got him. We got him. All right, folks. Here we are up against RS Addict. And yeah, we'll keep this. Not thrilled about it, but we'll keep it. Start on Woodland Chasm tapped. Go into a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. See what our opponent has to say. It's a snow-covered swamp. Fair enough. Well, as long as we don't need this as a land drop, getting back Professor Onyx or something would be really nice. Deathcap Glade, our opponent and I, just having a little bit of staring competition. They have a Field of Ruin, kind of a bummer. We would like to have our Hive of the Eye Tyrant attacking our opponent. But, alas, it is what it is. Our opponent going to go blank us. Well, bummer. You got it. We draw a land. And the opponent, still at 7 cards. Thinking about things. Considering things. Planning on things. Goes with a Seer Step Pathway. Apparently they're on Mardu. Welcoming Vampire, our opponent's choice. And Shambling Gas to draw a card. Yeah. Man, our opponent's living the good life over there. Yeah, well. Let's go digging up, I suppose. And we're going to do this. We could have ensured the board sweeper by getting a land as well. But we know we're going to get another land. We have a lot of land in the stack, right? And when you count the Kazandu Mammoths, we have like, whatever, 27 or 28 lands or something. So I think we would rather... Any deck running Welcoming Vampire is certainly going to be running other smaller creatures as well. So our Blood on the Snow is unlikely to be wasted. Opponent, RS Addict, 6 cards in hand. Snow-covered plains and passes. All right. Well, that's a land, but it's a tap land. We're going to Hive the Eye Tyrant. See if our opponent kills this land. We'll be disappointed if they do. We're kind of hoping they just Field of Ruin. Yeah, okay. This makes the most sense. Yes. And we're not sad about that. We didn't want them to just, like, destroy target creature spell or something on our land. That would have been a bummer, right? Getting them to use their Field of Ruin, though. That is exactly what we wanted to do. Sorin the Mirthless goes down, gets a Vampire. I guess. Kill that. Lair of the Hydra. X equals 2. Combat. Go after Sorin. Kill that mirthless fellow. Pass the turn. RS Addict. On 6 mana currently, thinking about things. 2 swamps available, 3 plains available, and a red mana as well. No dual lands over there yet. Contrasting that with ours, 3 of our lands tap for either green or black. And then just a couple of single color lands after that, but... You know, definitely a thing we're pleased about. Opponent goes with Lolth Spider Queen. Makes a couple of 2/1s. Our turn. Interesting. Part of me thinks we're just supposed to Blood on the Snow for all planeswalkers, you know? I'm not sure that's wrong. But our opponent might be planning on doing the same thing. And then they can get back planeswalkers, you know? Alright, well, let's just Professor Onyx then. Go up. Get... Sure. A way of destroying planeswalkers? Don't mind if I do. Alright, then we'll pass. See what happens. Our opponent could combine some kind of burn spell, as well as attacks from their spiders here to kill our Professor Onyx. It's true. They choose to exile it instead. Serious bummer. Serious bummer. Thinking about things. Goes with Professor of Symbology. Goes to learn. Don't have anything to get back now, because they exiled our Professor Onyx. Huh. Yeah, that's a bummer. Opponent going to draw a card. Lose a life. Make a land drop. Get in for 4. Does. Okay. Is it a land? No, but it is a Shadow's Verdict. Which I think is still good. Alright. Okay. Well, pass the turn. Opponent still has their Lolth. They're drawing 2 cards a turn. We are not, unfortunately, drawing 2 cards a turn. Field of Ruin comes down. That's a bummer, because we were going to make them, you know, lose Lolth, unless they were willing to commit. But, yeah, they get to just kill our Lair of the Hydra here. A bummer. But okay. Snow-covered forest, come on down. Opponent thinking about their hand. Alright. Opponent thinking about confronting the past for that Sorin, probably. Does do it. Does do it. Alright. Yeah, gets a life-linking flyer. That happens to also be a vampire. Loses a little bit of life as well. Well, okay. That's not the end of the world. We're going to go ahead, run out a Blood on the Snow, destroy all planeswalkers, pay some mana, get those things out of here, prepare to take our beats from this vampire. Opponent, though, still 6 cards in hand. That is a lot of resources, folks. A lot of resources. Has another Lolth, though. Alright. Not overly surprised there. Yep. And opponent gets in for 2. We drop to 10. Tempting. Tempting. Yeah, alright. How about another Shadow's Verdict? Don't want to take too much more damage, folks. Our opponent, though, drawing millions and millions of cards with these stupid Lolth Spider Queens. Serious bummer. But sooner or later, we've got to draw into our good stuff, too. I don't think our opponent has shown us much that would be very good against Skeletal Swarmings. I think Skeletal Swarmings earlier in the game would have been kind of backbreaking for our opponent, but they haven't been put in a position where they needed to do those things, you know? Alright, Wandering Emperor makes a Samurai. Lolth draws a card. Yeah. Edgar comes down. Bummer, man. Wandering Emperor. What's the counter on the Samurai? And gets in for 3. Okay. Well. Our opponent's got lethal in play, which is not thrilling. But I think we've got to do something that, like, gives us a potential edge here in the long game. If they've just got the removal spell, we die, but I think there was a whole bunch of ways we die there. Just killing the creatures doesn't really feel like it does much because of the Wandering Emperor and stuff. Okay. Does not have the instant speed answer, so we're not just dead. We get something to block with. Okay. Beledros. Trying to come in clutch for us here. RS Addict. Now up to roughly 250 million mana. Thinking about things. Contemplating things. Has the removal spell. Hovering Beledros again. Wow, Rite of Oblivion. Sacrifices the Edgar to kill our Beledros. The unfortunate thing is, it's also exiled, so we can't get it back, darn it. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. Opponent as the Samurai. We will block. Yeah. Folks, not looking good. Not looking good. Up to 8. Okay. That'll gain us some life back. Alright, get rid of all the Planeswalkers. All of them. And then I think we have to Bloodchief's Thirst this Samurai so we don't die. Still not looking good, though. We are in a great deal of trouble. Have not gotten our Skeletal Swarmings down, darn it. Alright. Go ahead and get a Mascot Exhibition and cast it. Bomber, man. Bomber. Okay. Well, I guess Kura, the Boundless Sky. Come on down. Yep. Probably gonna have to trade with the 4/4 here. Oh my gosh, they have the Vanishing Verse? Okay. Well, you got us, RS Addict. You got us. GG. GG. Alright, folks, we are back. We are back. And oh boy, that was wild. As you all probably heard, I had to go and re-record my thing because the first match, I actually forgot that I needed Snowland, or I forgot I hadn't changed out my Snowlands. I knew I needed them. So we had to go back and do that sort of thing, but then the games were a little bit rough. No, folks, this is not the sort of deck I would conventionally build for the channel because it's a stipulation, right? So it accomplished the task. We were able to grind out some wins. It was not a good deck, but it was a fun deck. We did some really big top-end things, so I can't complain about it. If you were wanting to build this but maybe win a little more often, I think probably the Beledros Witherbloom is a little bit fluff, and we probably want some more earlier game stuff down here, probably either interaction oriented or just something that sticks, possibly a Planeswalker or something like that down in this area, just so we're doing things more in the early game. The other things we can maybe cut are either the Skeletal Swarmings or the Dragons, just to make our curve work a little better. Again, we have no 2-drops and only a few 3-drops, so it's unsurprising that we're not curving out overly well, right? But honestly, you know, it was a stipulation. These aren't designed to be crushing the meta. These are designed to accomplish a very specific purpose, and darn it, this is what Rocketman asked for. So this is what Rocketman got. So thank you all. Again, if you folks are interested in maybe making me build your nonsense and silly stuff, come on out to this Twitch stream. I'd love to have you, get to know you, and all that kind of stuff. So come on out, hang out. It'd be great to have more of you wonderful folks to chat with. So without further ado, though, you folks have a fantastic day.